and just be aware of the alerts and distractions that you may have surrounding you, and cell phones and etc. And also the ones who like paper and pen, it's good to have paper and pen beside you. I am that kind of people that like to use hands in a different way than typing. So over to you, Fernanda.
Yeah, welcome everyone. So Liberating Structures Practice. It's so nice to see people that we know face to face from different places and people that we just know online, but we know we are connected in some way. Some new faces as well. So for who are coming for the first time, we will be among practitioners. We will find out who is more seasoned, more experienced in liberating structures in a minute. But the goal is just to improve. So if you're a beginner, we will improve in some way. If you are a very experienced practitioner, you also improve and learn with people. So we are all sharing and learning together and discovering what is possible. And most important part in our goals is to connect with other people. So when we have this kind of connections, we can start playing together. So we know lots of people start connecting between themselves after the practice and became like partners in facilitation crime all over the planet. So welcome for this community. And the agenda is this welcome, attention, and presence. We are finishing the orientation. We will start the connection in a minute with impromptu networking. And then a quick liberating structures intro for those who are new. Wise crowds to find out some nice like challenges to solve, and using liberating structures to do an agenda together. So there are 2 steps. And then I share highlights, what we learn, what we find out along the process, and then we close. I saw that some people will leave on the top of the hour. Probably we will leave when we are like refining the agenda midway. So it's okay. We will just say goodbye to your peers. And if you can, stop by on the main room, talk to us and leave, or no. Anything else, Carolina? No. I feel like this flight attendants giving instructions.
It's good.
Case of emergency.
Yeah, and I like this way that people come and go when you can, and it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, we call it a subway workshop. You know, it keeps going. People come in, come out, but it keeps going. Let's go, Carolina, impromptu networking.
Okay, impromptu networking. What is the purpose of the impromptu networking? It's to rapidly share challenges and expectations and build new connections. So it's what we are gonna do. And so you're gonna be in pairs, 3 minutes, 3 rounds, different pairs. And so the questions that you're gonna answer in these 3 rounds, it's this. So how did you come across liberating structures, and what do you hope to get from and give to this group? Those questions, the same questions for the 3 rounds. Have fun.
In a minute. Group, very spread. Welcome back. So let me recreate the rooms. Let me just double check. Who will be with Wayne? Sarah. Sarah, Wayne just arrived, so you are in charge of updating him on top of the impromptu networking. Here we go.
Wayne, back.
Arrived.
Up to date, Wayne?
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
That's how we roll. You landed already running. Okay, people are back. And final round. 3 last minutes. New partners. Here we go. Boom.
To start with liberating structures.
Oh, yeah.
It took 20 years for us.
Yeah.
You know, so.
We knew this before.
Yeah.
So let me launch polling here, just to check your familiarity with liberating structures. Know a lot and practice often until the bottom. What are liberating structures? Liberating what? Woo. Very spread. Two more people to answer. Okay, everybody. So let's see the results together. We have a consensus. Very spread. That's nice. Yeah, half of people know something and half of people know something.
Mhm.
Good. Carolina, what are we going to do now?
I'm gonna show, so Fernando gave me a challenge to explain some things, like very briefly about liberating structures. So 5 minutes for that, it's a big challenge. And I'm gonna share my screen just for a while. You're gonna receive this deck so you can look at it with more careful and more time. So what liberating structures are? So it is a repertoire of 33 plus options for organizing interactions that include and unleash everyone in shaping next steps. I like this because this is a very good way to explain what liberating structures are. And just going a little bit on that phrase. So include and unleash means that we are going to give the control to the participants. So it's not just engaging. It engage people. It's very engaging, but it's more than that. You really give the control to the participants. And for some facilitators, this is a big challenge to get out of the control. Another thing is that it's for everyone. So everyone can lead or can run a liberating structure. So if you do once, you can learn how to do it, and then you can practice, you can start doing right away. And there's also to face complex challenges. Sometimes we have complex challenges, it's very difficult to face it. So liberating structure helps us to bring and to generate options on that. And because of that, and because all of that, you are shaping the next steps. So not you, but the group is shaping the next steps. And so it makes sense for the group more than to the facilitator. And I like that idea. And I'll go now here. So how you can use liberating structure? You can use just for a two. So 1, 2 here, 1, 2 there. So you can do 1, 2 for all here. You can do a Troika consulting there. And I don't know where this sound is.
Wayne, just muted Wayne.
Okay. And so you can use as a 2, 1, 2 here or there, or also you can apply, like you can have the repertoire and have a sequence of liberating structures, and you can build a whole workshop only with liberating structures. So this is a very good way to go. And this slide shows you like this iceberg. So in the top of the iceberg, it can be like the playful tools, because they are very playful. So you can use 1, 2 here and there, how I said. And then you can start doing this principled repertoire. So just having the strings going in a workshop. You can combine like 2, 3, 4 liberating structures and then do something else, or just 8 hours of liberating structures. It depends of how you are comfortable doing these things. And as you learn it, you can go to inventing your new way to organize or to do your things. So this microstructural DNA brings you freedom to do whatever you want, but using the principles and using these microstructures of the liberating structures. Yeah, anything else, Fernando, you want to add?
I will add just for Tatiana, she was talking about the philosophical perspective. So in the principle repertoire, it's when you start looking at the principles behind the liberating structures and what happens what is underneath the practice. So it's very interesting. It's a very long conversation, but you can find these materials on the website, the principles and how they come up with them. So it's interesting.
And I'm gonna put in the chat the slides, and the slides are from Keith McCandless.
Yeah, all the slides from Liberating Structures are like spread all over the place. Nobody has like a source. It's always shared and keep changing and sharing all the time. So feel free to adapt this for anything that you want to use.
Yeah.
What's good, Carolina?
And then we are gonna practice. So more than talking, and we are here to practice. So we are gonna practice the wise crowds, and I'm gonna explain what wise crowds is. But to run it, we need some clients, and these clients are people who have a workshop, a meeting, or something that you want to use liberating structures. And so I'm gonna explain how it works, and why I'm explaining, think about your projects and if you want to be a client. So how it works, it's we're gonna have one client, and the client's gonna have 3 minutes to explain the challenge or the project and the objectives of this project.
In a group of 5 people, right?
Yeah, in a group of 5 people. So one client and 4 consultants. 3 minutes to explain that, and then 3 minutes the consultants, it's going to ask clarifying questions, and just clarifying questions, not suggestions or not to resolve anything, just to clarify. And then the client, it's going to turn the camera and mic off, and it's going to be ready to take notes. And in 8 minutes the consultant's going to discuss and create some recommendations of liberating structures for that challenge. And then 1 minute, the last minute, the client opened the camera and the mic and say what was valuable. And so 15 minutes, one client, one round. So now it's the question, who wants to be the client? Who has a project, workshop, meeting?
Yeah, raise hand in the reactions. Yeah, like Andrea did. And just another note, and then after Wise Crowds, we have another time to craft the string. So Wise Crowds will help us to get the challenge more clear, and then you have more time to design the string together. So we do this in 2 movements. And we need 2 more clients.
Andrea?
You need 3. So keep selling, Carolina, keep selling.
So it's a free consultation. People here are very knowledgeable, and they're gonna give you a lot of good ideas.
We'll love it.
And we're gonna discuss about that. And it's also nice. It's always nice to.
Sarah, we need to sell 1 more spot.
Okay.
There's a hand open. I think it's Jana. Yeah. Okay, sold.
So
Let me just rename here. And just double checking, EIL and Salvatore will leave early, right?
yeah.
Okay, so I'll put you in separate rooms. Okay.
So yeah, now this time we're gonna do the wise crowds, how I explain, and I put in the chat a reference for the LS menu, which is the matchmaker. It's a very nice exercise that you can do after, and this material is very good. And so you're gonna do the wise crowds, and after that you're gonna have more time to refine your work. Okay, so but here now it's just time to do the wise crowds. I'm gonna put in the chat again.
Yeah, one thing that I like to say to people is it's more than getting the string ready, is to know what is available, what makes sense to combine to tackle that challenge. So this is for the consultants. And for the clients, try to be very specific. If your challenge is too big, like 6 months project, okay, focus on the first day. If it's a whole day, maybe focus on the morning. So try to manage something very specific, and then you get more from it. Otherwise, you'll be very like too broad to work on. Is that right, Carolina, that we talked before?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, So we have the rooms ready and they have 15 minutes, right?
Yes, 15 minutes.
One of the consultants must be unforgiven with the time. Do you mean, I mean, unforgiven is very precise, not a second more. And timing is very important on this structure. Sometimes we think that we have more time, we'll go deeper, but that's not right. When you don't have much time, we really go fast and deep. Okay? Anything else, Carolina?
Just go.
50 minutes. See you
Yeah.
then.
Good. Awesome. That's good, Salvatore.
Clapping.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry I have to go. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Anne. Nice
Bye.
meeting you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
So they're
Salvatore.
leaving as well, right?
Okay. Yeah, so just write in the chat for us, how was your experience with that wise crowds and what stood out for you? Salvatore is nice. How was that experience? Amazing.
I think it was really good. Our group kind of it was a very broad explanation of what was going on, and then we slowly started snowballing on each other more ideas and getting more focused. And I feel like it was really coming together in that last minute. So we could use maybe 2 more minutes, but yeah, it was very interesting to hear everyone's feedback and build on each other as we were trying to solve.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm seeing here in the chat, so some time runs fast. It's true, but you're gonna have more time with the same team to go deeper. So yeah, it was just like to understand the challenge and start thinking about the liberating structures, and now you're gonna go deeper.
Yeah, let me show you quickly how you're going to work. I'll give you a tool to work easier. So let me see if you can. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you access to this document in a minute. But basically, you'll be still using the matchmaker as a reference, or you can use what you already have. When we are face-to-face, we use the cards, because what we are going to do is to string the sequence. So quick tip for you, start on the critical objectives, list them in an order here. It helps you to choose the structures and put them in order, and fill all the blanks here. So client, consultants, what is the name of the event, participant, and etc. And you'll be using the icons. So at the end of these 15 minutes that you'll be together, you have something like this. In this case, people went crazy and did like 3 strings for 3 different things. You can do one, doesn't matter, it's up to you. Sometimes people create 1 string, sometimes 2 strings for the same purpose as an option. And you already have here, for example, slide 12, it's Andrea's team. And then slide 14, Jana, and slide 16, Sarah. So you have your space to work. Don't need to fight for your slide. And don't delete things from your colleagues on the other slide. Anything else, Carolina, for? Oh, the tip, yeah. Critical objects on the top. Stay in the space of possibilities. There is no right or wrong, better or worse. Just keep going, yes, and copy. This is a very practical tip. Copy and paste the icons. Sometimes you cut, and one of your colleagues will be there like for 10 minutes looking for an icon that they don't find. But you cut it out. And focus on the string and flow, because when we use this structure to create the strings, sometimes people get lost in the invitations. So don't go there to the nitty-gritty. Stay on the string to get the flow first, and it will help you to define the invitations later. I think that's all, Carolina. Link it.
Yeah, I put that in the chat, the link for the document. You can open the document. And I think we So 15 minutes to use the document and have fun.
If you need any help, just ask for help and we can pop in. See you. Nice. We're back. One thing that happened, we were noticed because you can see the slides and the changes, right? What is happening in real time. And the first time that we saw a group invest in like 13 minutes discussing the objectives and 2 minutes to, that's lovely because that's which is really important. What is the purpose? What is the object? And then it's easy to pick what you need. That's my guess that what happened. Maybe you discussed other things along the time, you know. Now it's time to share.
On our end, you have you had two people who don't know liberating structures. So the time it takes to read through, understand, try to get what it is, and then apply it, I think was lost. And also we spent an inordinate time on just getting straight on what exactly we're trying to accomplish. But
Perfect. Yeah, maybe we can look at this together now. Because the idea now is to have people presenting what you did. So maybe the client can briefly present the context, and then you share if you came up with a string or where you were headed to. So 3 minutes, and then you can give you some hints or maybe contribute with your string all together, not just me and Carolina, but everybody.
You can, I can share, you need me to share the screen?
I think it's easier, Carolina, because you have a bigger screen. Actually, I have bigger screens, and I have just one. So who wants to start? Clients. Andrea.
It's me.
Jana or Sarah?
Mhm. Well, I can start if you want.
I'll go Andrea.
So I was with two consultants that didn't have experience with liberating structure, but we thought about what has to be done. I will have a training and a facilitation session with leaders to the training is about feedback, and the objective is that at the end of the final 2 hours of the day, they will define what procedures they will have to implement in order to cultivate a feedback culture, and what will be the action plan. This is my challenge. So, and I asked for advisory for this moment. And we thought, the first thing we thought was, first of all, understand what procedures were in place right now. And for that, I thought about the one to for all. So they can make a list of what is happening, what they see that is happening. And after that, we didn't have a lot of time, and I was thinking about the 25-10, but I was thinking because I just have like 9 people in the room. I don't know if 25-10 will work or not, because I just have 10 people.
So
Fernando, is you that?
Good, Andrea.
What is happening here?
I just put some structures there for you to consider.
Okay.
Nice to clarify purpose of the feedback. Why is feedback important? Appreciative interviews to raise from the group good stories and good practice about feedback being positive. 3 is how can you make feedback horrible and then find out what we are doing or currently doing or to not do it. And mean specs to consolidate what we have to really take care or pay attention to get a good feedback going in our culture. So you kind of explore and then you consolidate. And Troika Consulting, it actually can be used for feedback as well. So it's a practice with another person to give feedback to the third one. So you may consider these ones.
I have considered that once, but in the morning for them to make that personal challenge of saying what they are doing, what is happening with each leader in each department. So I'm very happy that you are giving me validation about what I thought. But my objective in this part of the afternoon is defining companies' procedures. For example, make a monthly meeting to see what is going well, what is going bad. Or for example, make an Ask the CEO session each month, you know. So I really want them to define procedures that they want to implement.
Right.
And what I need is like a brainstorm, and after that, an action plan. So I don't know what are the better.
We have some structures to play around. 25-10 works great. So
Yeah, and 15% solutions I would put in
the mix.
yeah, maybe in
Mhm.
the end. 15% solutions always like 15 minutes, and you can be very practical for people to get out of
Okay.
the meeting with something in their hands.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and let's go to the second group here. Let's see. Jana.
Yes. So this is an ongoing team coaching that I'm doing, and the recent, and they're like 5 clients, all in the same. They lead a finance, business operations, data intelligence department, and recently we're working on how do they influence other departments to work with them better. And so some of the ideas, and I'd say we were a little bit challenged because I think we all had maybe different levels of understanding what some of the structures were. So I certainly want to dive into more of these, and I'm excited to do that. Want to also help them figure out how to tweak. We've been working on communication, like advocating for their ideas and interviewing and understanding the stakeholders' needs better. So it's on Friday, I'd like them to have more clarity about, really what is their strategy? Who are they going to go influence in the next month? What's their communication approach going to be? And for them to have more motivation and, confidence and excitement doing that, because some of these people are more thoughtful and maybe introspective, and to go tell someone in another department, to hold others in other departments accountable where they don't have any authority over them is certainly challenging. So we looked at drawing, either social network webbing or drawing together to consider what are the structures in place now, and where are these people they need to influence, and what's the status of their relationships now? And then I'm not sure in the order. We talked about using TRIZ. I've done TRIZ with this group before and it worked well. So I think doing it again with this meeting could be good. And also with appreciative interviews, if they identify through the drawing, okay, here's a group that Emily, you're going to talk to, and here, Matthew, you're going to talk to these people, having some appreciative interviews about what has worked with them before, or what has worked with people like them before. That's my understanding what we came up with. Did I leave out anything that others want to add? Or misrepresent anything?
No, I think it's okay. Yes, we were trying to look for a tool that could map everything together as a system, no? And so we thought about drawing together, or maybe a mural or something that has to do, because it's online. Her session would be online, so kind of give a tool in order for them to see the whole system together and how accountable is each department in that whole thing. So we were trying to figure that out.
Yeah, two things that I always like to have in any kind of exploration is the 9 whys to get a focus, and the mean spec to get something very tangible to follow up, to close and move forward.
So you said 9 whys, and then what was the last thing you said?
Mean specs.
Mean specs, minimum specifications.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I guess that we were trying to understand that or this is at least my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, that some liberating structures open, they're like to diverse, to get ideas, to generate, to innovate. And then there are others that can converge and put things more specific, no? So kind of, we're not that familiar in the group, we're not that familiar, but kind of at first, maybe it's interesting to open the space and to get good ideas and new ideas or innovation, and then get the group for a consensus and to go deeper and to an agreement together, no? So that was kind of the process we were looking for.
Yeah, that's interesting how you put it. It's nice to see the liberating structures in that way, but not be, so fixed on this. But yes, some of them open, and if you have like open, and you don't close,
exactly,
it's a problem, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to have that notion of this fluidity that, like opening and kind of closing, like for example, the what's a what now what that is there, it opens and closes in the same structure. So it's interesting, this.
And also we talked about, and I think this is an interesting point to bring up, it's that when you're working with groups that have different hierarchies and different authorities and influence, there's a way, in order to equalize those voices and get everybody on board, but there's still something subtle or underneath that when those hierarchies are very strong, how do you get these people talking and giving their authenticity thoughts about it? So this kind of tool sometimes goes beyond that boundary or that barrier of the hierarchy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's go. The time is just clicking here.
Yeah.
So let's go to Sarah, please. The floor is yours.
So thank you. So actually, maybe these ideas will be helpful for Andrea as well, because the context here is also a leadership development program, and we decided to focus on feedback. So on the session about feedback, there are several sessions in this program, but we decided to focus on the feedback one. And so we decided to start with 1, 2, for all, to allow the participants to come up with the characteristics of good and bad feedback. So getting that from the participants instead of us telling them how it looks like. Then we also wanted to introduce some frameworks for them to explore. And we have this great idea of, instead of us telling them what these frameworks are, like through a presentation, having sort of an art gallery. This is not liberating structure, but having an art gallery with posters or something about these frameworks. And then we have the idea of using storyboards for that. So maybe this writing, they could look at the art gallery and then create a storyboard of like the ideal scenario in that situation. Then this program already exists, and we do role play, and there's this idea of using a fishbowl structure for the role play, where the people in the middle are doing the role play, and the ones around, they can like tap on the shoulder and become the giver or the receiver of the feedback and continue that story. And then end with Wise Crowds or Troika Consulting for discussing real life challenges around feedback. And here we had a question. So from what I've never used Wise Crowds before today, but it seems very similar to Troika Consulting. Yes. Is that true, or okay?
Cool. Yeah, it's very similar, but the Troika, you have just 3 people.
Okay.
And everybody's gonna be the client in the Troika Consulting. But the Wise Crowds, you can have a bigger crowd, so it's like 5, 7 people even, and then you have one client, and the others are consultant. And if you have time, you can do like 3 rounds, for example. So in a group of 5, you're gonna have 3 clients, and like 2 people is not gonna be clients. So this is the biggest difference. And also the Wise Crowd has a little bit of more time in each step.
Okay, I forgot that aspect of Troika Consultant, that it rotates. Yeah, that everyone is the client. Yeah.
Wise Crowds is a nice intro for Troika, because not everybody will be like exposed to be a client, so it's more comfortable, and then you can jump to Troika after. And I just add the improv prototyping. Maybe you can also explore, instead of the fishbowl, and the role play, everybody with the improv prototype, which is more or less what you're saying that will happen.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
use the sequence of 1, 2 for all to improve and improv the scene. That's the nickname.
Okay.
As improv prototype is the one of the structures that is very nice for this that you're saying. Anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
Just perfect for. Yeah, thank you all. And I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. And yeah, some people.
I was just putting in the chat the multi-speaker view. It's a new feature in Zoom, and it's nice because you can see like 3 people speaking and people jumping in and out as they speak.
Good.
It's a new thing that it's happening in Zoom. I'll be back in gathering. Closing, Carolina, we have 6 minutes with these amazing guys still in the story with us.
It's a so what we are gonna do, it's this shot storm. So you're gonna write in the chat what was valuable or what is your takeaway from this gathering, but you don't press enter. And we're gonna press enter all together. So just write it down in the chat. So what was valuable and or what is your takeaway from this session? And then when you were done, you just show your hands to me, then I know that you're done. Lori, Andrea, Tatiana, Fernando, Jana. Wayne, I don't know if you're done or just.
No pressure. We're just waiting for you, but no pressure.
No pressure at all. So what was valuable and your takeaways? Is everybody ready?
Fingers again, fingers.
Yes.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, go. Enter. It's a cascade of thoughts and ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 4 minutes more, and I also like to hear some voices. So if someone wants to express yourself verbally, you're welcome to bring your voice here. So how was the session? What takeaways you're bringing home?
Mm-hmm.
I want to get more familiar with these tools. I learned them several years ago, and I just I want to learn them almost as well as Fernando. He's just whipping them out, So I want to learn them just a little bit better, so I can use them in some of my day-to-day work. Got to brush up, study.
Thank you. I would like to say that for me, the facilitation work, it's about like a different distribution of power in the meetings. And this kind of tools also gives this idea of collaborating between colleagues, and in a way is a collaborative way that we want to do as facilitators, right? It's not a training, it's not a one way. So what emerges, it's the creative thing. How do you put in the chain and you combine, as Carolina was saying, this, it's an art. It's very creative to do that because it's a very powerful tool. And if you get to like the gymnastics and the rhythm going, it can go very deep and very interesting insights to then conclude and to work with, right? It's a way of seeing things, I think. And it was really, really amazing today's session. So thank you very much for this generosity.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you for the advisory and for listening to me. For me, it was a remembering that I don't have to do everything alone. That for a freelancer is something that we are always doing and forgetting, especially women. We think we have to do everything and have to have a solution for everything. And sometimes you're just calling someone this is the what I and of course, thank you for your generosity and very happy to see you again.
Me too.
Yeah, just adding on top of this is that the generosity is something that really runs within any community in liberating structures. And probably it's because Henry and Keith were very generous creating this work and putting them like in open source. So generosity is something that you always find in this community. So if you need help, if you need support with liberating structures, just connect to us, to connect to any other community. In many places, you can find more generous people to talk about. So that's the lovely part that I see in the structures.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you for your engagement here and to really work on that. And it's so nice to see that. And that we do this every month. We have gatherings. So we have liberated structural gatherings, but also we have like some guests bringing some different topics. And so feel free to come in any gathering of that. And we like that because it's something that we're generous to give, but we receive so much as well. So I like this, giving and receiving from the community. And so thank you for coming, everyone.
See you soon, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.